he gonna call?
I don't know. He's supposed to be hit me. You know, he knows what's going down tonight. I know he want to come. We've been trying to give him the game.
Right.
Look, I know it. Yo, what's good, fam?
Wow, what's good? This Kingfish, what's happening with you?
Man, you know what's going down tonight. I hear it in your voice.
Already, you know it's Nola, baby. We don't close. I'm trying to get it in.
Man, but you need to tone it down. You know how we can't be doing it like that, homie. We got to be slow motion with it.
Y'all got multiple wives. You Hebrews, right? I'm just trying to get in where I fit in, you heard me?
See, he on that multiple wives talk. We ain't doing. You just need one, Ken. You ain't ready for one. Look. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Holler at me later on. We gonna see what poppin' tonight. I'm gonna show you how we do things. Shalom, man.
I'm gonna peep the game. I'll see you tonight. Wow.
Abraham Vineyards, man. What's good?
Wow. Look at this Kingfish. I'm trying to get some of that wine y'all got over there, you heard?
Oh, yeah, brother. We got the best of the best, man. It's all natural. We got some sour sop. We got some berry. We got some white grape. What you looking for, man? What you looking for, bro?
Well, I know Noah got down with them grapes, and I'm going to this Hebrew function tonight, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get in where I fit in. What you suggest?
You know, we drink responsibly, bro, so,
Take your time with it, bro.
Everybody keeps telling me to be humble with y'all, man. Okay, fine. I like the sour sop. I'm coming through. Where can I meet you?
Yeah, if you want to meet me at the mall, I'm about to pull up to the mall later on.
All good. Wow, I'll holler at you.
All right, bro. Shalom.
We don't worry for tomorrow. No, I provide.
Kelly spraying through the Benjis, nigga.
Me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai. I'm so low, my walk on that road, it's me and the Mosai. I'm so low, my walk on that road, it's me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai. Father who art in heaven, what it take to keep you from just a little laughing. Spread the gospel through the hood, doing it through rapping. Feel just like me and God trapped me. So bringing the truth to the people, telling what they never been told. You sitting on gifts you were giving and doing nothing with them. I swear that you niggas is bold. Is that what you know? I know that some of you think that I'm playing with completion. I'm not. I'm ready to try. Been whipping the work in the studio, serving it out to the block. Tried it in life on my own and I found that it's not what I thought. A place to a higher, but I should get shy on my soul. Not but said it was already booked. I'm ready for y'all to stop trying to stop either trying to say he's wicked when really he not. It's really a plot. But you the two hate you when the thought to try to come take what you got. Whoa, listen, truth hit hard. Harder than a gamble. Better be known as a saint. Then your favorite rapper. Michael Jackson band. Don't build a jungle. Random play. It's still just me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Yeah, me and the Mosai. Yeah, me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Yeah, me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. I'm so low. My walk on this road. It's me and the Mosai. I'm so low. My walk on this road. It's me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Yeah, me and the Mosai. Yeah, me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai.
Solo, rolling 4D, but rocking y'all shit in my OG. I feed the flock to lose no sheep, yeah, no sheep, no little Bo Peep. X5 and 29, I choose the father over man every time. Like coke addicts, I drop heavy lines, no word out actions, pantomime. They said I never seen a judo with a flow like that. I said I never seen a judo with a glow like that. He gave me seeds that I never seen grow like that. Track 5 bars, heads about to blow like that. I'm good, am I lonely? 14. I go where he shows me. I need no blind guy to show me. Matthew 15, verse 14, he told me to just let them be. They strain at necks and swallow camels when they should be following me. Woe to them, yes, swore not, cause time soon come when it goes down. He came with a sword not to bring peace. Cinderella at midnight, I must leave. I struggle for a minute, I would do the straight coasting. Shine when I rhyme, but a Judah ain't boasting. The Bible I pick up, I fall and I get up. Got living water that I swallow for hiccups. Let that marinate. I will rock with me, myself, and I live life like I'm fasting. I need nothing, just me and the Most High.
Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on this road is me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on this road is me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. 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 Me and the Most.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host for tonight. I am Kayel. I'm a little under the weather tonight, guys, so it's not going to be a long show. But I wanted to come on since I missed the other night on Monday night. But, fighting a little bug or whatever it may be. But in the building, I got my young Hebrew in the building tonight. And there's Logan in the building. So let's get this thing going, right? So first, wanna, obviously y'all saw the video. We are humbled at Hebrew State of Being that the brother Peasy and his rib Ari Amuna asked us to be a part of the video. You see the brother Yuan in there. You see the sister, the Queen Ty in the building. You see my rib in the building. And so we were covered by the Most High to make it down there, to make it down there safely and back and be a part of the celebrations and to have a little cameo in the video. So we are just so humbled and thankful because the video is great, and we pray that it does great things for them. It's already done great things for them, but we think that we pray that it shoots and goes past. Say your kid Isaiah say he tried to walk off with my phone. Ha! I love that, Aaron. I'm glad that they like it, man. I'm glad that your son Isaiah likes the video, man. We put a lot of work in that day. But yeah, man, Ari and my brother Peasy, man, they really put together a professional video shoot. They really got everybody to move in place. You had so many artists that came from Tennessee, New York, California, Memphis, Florida, us from New Orleans. So you had a real call out of Ox and the Cotees that came down to celebrate with them and shoot this video. And the brother's talking about doing it quarterly, so we all about it. And I see my brother Zebediah is in the building. If y'all don't know, we play Truth Trap all the time. The Sons of Light, man, and that brother is a major member of that group. Brought us up in this walk. You know what I'm saying? When we first got in this walk, we needed music. We needed a soundtrack. We needed something to breathe life in those times where we felt, the world was beating us up and putting us into a corner. So, from Sons of Light to Mali, you know what I'm saying, to Full Tribe Static Addicts, to Peasy, to the new brothers on the block with Eshawn Burgundy and the Rock Eye Bar, but the ones that's been holding it down for the last 10 years, man. I mean, I would say a good last 5 to 10 years in this Hebrew music, Sons like Full Tribe Static Addict, Real Judah. So yeah, man, man, pick those artists up. Know what it is to have brothers and cotees that are giving their praise like the birds do every day unto the Most High. When they're chirping, they're not talking to each other. They're giving praise unto the Most High continually. So tonight, our subject, our lesson for tonight is the seeds of the earth. Now, like I said, we're not going to go too long tonight because I am not at my full strength, but we are always everything we need when we have the Most High. All right, so we're going to go to Genesis chapter 6. In this world right now, we have many dangers and horrors that are at our doorsteps. We have the horror of the LGBTQ community trying to turn our children into something that the Most High did not create. We have war in Israel between the Palestinians and the Khazarians, Ashkenazis. You have China and Turkey that are weighing in, as well as Russia. You have Russia hackers stopping our pipelines where they're paying a $5 million ransom in order for the pipelines to go back and pumping. You have so many clear and present dangers that some of them can go overlooked. Brother and I was having a conversation today with Brother Yuan, and we were discussing the I'm sorry, the seeds of the earth, and we were discussing how the farmers and how the different things are happening in this world right now. And I was expressing to him about Monsanto. We were talking about the fact that the vaccine,
Have you heard?
that they were giving out marijuana with the vaccines. That his uncle, in fact, wasn't my brother Adan. No, I think it was Yuan. No, yeah, it was either one, Adan or Yuan. One of them, my brothers. I think I was having both of these conversations with y'all intermittently. So the uncle received marijuana for taking the vaccine, and then I was talking with Brother Yuan. And we were talking about how they had the second lines here, and they got vaccine tables at the second lines for the lollipops. But I was expressing to the brother that, as wild as that may seem, that they would give out marijuana, let's look at it from a scientific level. They're giving you the lollipop that is an RNA, which means that it's not actually a virus that is cutting off your receptors. It's stopping your immune system. Oh, that was Taj Pop. Yeah, thank you, my brother Yuan. That was Taj Pop, right? So this is real life. Ty that was in the video that you just saw. Her pops, they gave him marijuana for his lollipop. Now, the lollipop, it cuts off your body from receiving the receptors to get the disease. See, their lollipop stops your endocannabinoid system, which is your immune system. And it has cannabinoid in it, just like cannabis. So they give you a receptor killer that won't allow those receptors, your cannabinoid receptors, to receive any healing from cannabis or from anything else. It is shutting down your immune system from receiving anything, good or bad. And then they turn around and give you the actual thing that should help you. And I said, I know, my brother Yuan, you would think that's how we should look at it, right? That, wow, it's crazy that they will give you the thing that really can help you, which is the marijuana, along after they give you the lollipop. I said, but do you know about Monsanto, my brother? He's like, who is Monsanto? I said, well, that's the show for tonight. Because, like I said, we know about the wars, we know about the volcanoes, we know about the earthquakes that's happening, we know about the cryptocurrency, we know about the New World Order that's being put in. We understand that the Vatican that gave all its power to the UN. But before all of that was in place, The concept of how we eat and attacking us through our food has been happening. And now they are bringing it up to a crescendo, meaning that at this crescendo, you won't be able to get any seeds that they don't give you. So we're gonna watch 2 videos tonight, and to go along with our scripture to understand what evil is upon us, or what prophecy is already being fulfilled, right? So let's go.
Universities, regulatory bodies, and medical professionals.
This video is sponsored by Brilliant. It's May 13th, 2019, and Alva and Alberta Piliad settle into their courtroom seats to hear
2019. Seems like my internet's trying to act a little funny.
Hear the jury's verdict. They're nervous, and so is the lawyer representing them, Brent Wisner. They're nervous because they're suing Monsanto, which has now been bought out by the German chemical company Bayer, on the grounds that the company's weed killer Roundup caused them to develop a type of cancer called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's the last day of their case, and the lead juror stands up to read the verdict. The room falls deathly silent, and Alva and Alberta hold hands. Finally, after a short preamble, the juror exclaims that Monsanto must pay $2 billion in damages to the Piliad family. The case is closed, and the Piliads visibly relax with joy. $2 billion is a large chunk of money. So, what exactly has Monsanto done to receive such a massive verdict? In the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk about Monsanto. How they operate, how they pollute, why they've led to this graph, and what this man can offer as a solution.
Now, the commercials are but what I want you to understand is that Monsanto has also created their own marijuana seeds. When you hear about the Marlboro regular cigarettes that we have here, well, in Canada there's marijuana Marlboros, and in Japan and in other countries, right? These are the ones that are regulated by the government. Monsanto's is that governmental entity.
In Vietnam, clouds of toxic gas scour the countryside. It's 1971 and people are dying. The US is at the end of a violent chemical campaign. Since 1965, US troops sought to rob Vietnamese forces of food and foliage with the indiscriminate spraying of 123 million gallons of the herbicide Agent Orange. 4.8 million Vietnamese people were directly affected. And to this day, as the toxic chemical still lies angry in the landscape, many more are born with birth defects and health issues. And one of the primary companies supplying that gruesome chemical compound was none other than Monsanto. Up until the late 90s, Monsanto was a chemical company that grew to power by supplying deadly toxic concoctions to the US military during their imperialist endeavors. From Agent Orange to DDT, Monsanto brewed up these mixtures primarily for war. But when peace rolled around, Monsanto, like any tricky salesman, quickly found a new market for its chemicals: agriculture. By transforming their weapons of war into herbicides and pesticides, Monsanto introduced a militaristic mentality to farming by waging war instead on the soil, insects, and weeds. For years, Monsanto's #1 tool was glyphosate, but you probably know it by a more familiar name: Roundup. Quite literally, Monsanto characterizes their customers as cowboys with Roundup as their pistol of choice.
With the all-new no-pump one-touch wand, it kills weeds dead and keeps weeds gone. Roundup, extended control.
But Monsanto's Roundup kills more than just weeds. It kills the soil by damaging the presence of certain beneficial microbacteria, which decreases soil fertility in the long run. It kills beneficial plants like milkweed, which is the primary nesting foliage for monarch butterflies. It's led to superweeds. Its production created a number of toxic mines and factories that continue to pollute surrounding towns and watersheds. And above all else, it kills people. Glyphosate has been deemed a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization, with one analysis asserting that long-term exposure to Roundup's glyphosate increases your chance of contracting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma by 41%. Which is exactly what Alva and Alberta Pilliod were diagnosed with, and why the jury ordered Monsanto to pay $2 billion in damages to the Pillions. And since Bayer bought Monsanto in 2018, it's been sued by over 125,000 people for damages caused by Roundup. 125,000 cases. 125,000 people harmed by just a single chemical Monsanto touted for decades. As of June 2020, however, Bayer has had to come to terms with Monsanto's past. It settled over 100,000 of those lawsuits with a payout of $10 billion. A massive payout for sure, and one that gives hope for a stronger reckoning with the polluting history of Monsanto. But with that payout came an exception. Bayer is still allowed to sell Roundup without having to change a thing. And despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary, the president of Bayer still says that glyphosate is safe to use.
Glyphosate has been and continues to be a product that is safe for its intended use, and very importantly, it is not carcinogenic.
He said that right after his company settled over 100,000 lawsuits saying the exact opposite. Indeed, that seems to be the company line. Roundup is and will continue to be safe to use. But clearly, it's not. Bayer Monsanto doesn't just offer weapons to kill weeds, however. It also supplies farmers with another insidious form of militaristic farming, pesticides. And out of the thousands of pesticides available, Bayer and Monsanto's best sellers are neonicotinoids, a group of chemicals derived from nicotine that attacks the nerve cells of insects and essentially overstimulates them until they die. In the US alone, it's estimated that neonics pervade over 150 million acres of farmland, with 90% of corn and 50% of soybean seed coated in neonicotinoids. This extensive use of insecticides has had dire ramifications. Many studies point to neonicotinoids as one of the main drivers of colony collapse disorder in honeybees, which has decimated pollinating honeybee populations in the last 2 decades. And because neonics are water-soluble, they seep into our crops and our waterways, affecting biodiversity in every direction of the food web. The consequences of neonics like clethanidin and fipronil look like the loss of flight for house sparrows, decreased immune response in Japanese quail, and impaired swimming abilities in fathead minnows, just to name a few. In short, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring is happening once again. But of course, it will be hard to pull Bayer away from this lucrative business. In 2018, the global neonic market generated $4.42 billion in revenue. The solution then must run counter to an obsession with scorching the land with pesticides. But before we can talk about solutions, we must first understand how Monsanto and Bayer gained control of the agricultural industry through seeds. It was a windy day in Canada when Percy Schmeiser went to answer his front door. He grabbed the handle, cracked the door, and immediately was served a lawsuit from Monsanto. To his knowledge, he hadn't done anything wrong, but it soon turned out that the canola seeds that had blown into his field a while back were Monsanto's property, because, after all, Monsanto was patenting their herbicide-resistant GMO seeds and then restricting their use. And one of the rules Monsanto constructed was that farmers were not allowed to reuse Monsanto's seed, which, it turned out, is what Percy Schmeiser accidentally did. Farmers were, and still are, required to buy new seed from Monsanto every single year. This is just a small taste of the Monsanto-Bayer seed empire. 60% of the global seed market is owned by just 4 companies, with Bayer controlling 31% as of 2017. These companies achieved this monopoly by buying up smaller seed sellers and then patenting GMO seeds so that their Roundup-resistant corn variety couldn't be traded or replanted without legal repercussions. This also means that once you've started to use Monsanto's seeds and chemicals, you're stuck in a deadly spiral, which is exactly what's happening to farmers in rural India. There, Monsanto's BT cotton seed is king. 90 to 95% of cotton comes from the BT GMO seed. When it was commercialized in 2002, the seed promised a decrease in pesticide use while still maintaining pest control and higher yields. This was made possible because the seed was engineered with elements of pesticides within the plants. The idea being that you wouldn't need to spray as much because the plant would just kill the insects instead. But since 2002, it's become very clear that that dream is just, well, a dream. The GMO BT cotton has actually increased pesticide use because pests like bollworms grew resistant to them, and other previously non-target species like whitefly and the mealbug have emerged as new pests. On top of that, yields have declined as acreage of BT cotton has increased. In fact, according to Dr. Vandana Shiva in 2017, 31 countries were ranked above India in terms of cotton yield, and of these, only 10 of them grew genetically modified cotton. Adding insult to injury are price increases, which brings us to this graph. With the rise of Monsanto's BT cottonseed comes the rise of not only seed price, but also labor, insecticide, and fertilizer cost. In short, over the course of a decade, Monsanto created a predatory seed empire that drove up costs for Indian farmers, yet delivered very little in terms of yield or quality. Indian farmers are now stuck between a rock and a hard place. They can either attempt a hard transition away from the system or continue down its destructive path. Vandana Shiva and many other farmers and activists, however, are showing us hope, showing the world that Monsanto's and now Bayer's seed and chemical paradigm doesn't have to be the only way. This man, Ron Finley, is one of those activist gardeners that's rebelling against our industrialized and militarized food system. He's a lighthouse on the stormy seas of chemical produce. Finley, known as the guerrilla or gangster gardener, has been working to dismantle the system of food apartheid in South Central Los Angeles for over a decade. He began in part because I
got tired of driving 45 minutes round trip to get an apple that wasn't impregnated with pesticides.
And ever since, he's been involving his surrounding community in a gardening and food system focused not on control, efficiency, and attack, but on care, abundance, and biodiversity. Finley uses what's available, repurposing an abandoned pool and leftover buckets to produce a food oasis free of pesticides and corporate-controlled seeds. This new paradigm of smaller, more intimate food systems that produce food that not only nourishes the body, but also tastes good, is what we should be growing towards, not Bayer's monopoly over our food. But Ron Finley is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of small farmers putting in similar work to craft a food system based around thriving and care. We just have to go outside, find them, and lend our support.
Dogs are awesome.
Understanding what they're talking about with these seeds. The seeds that grow all foods on the earth that the Most High created, these people have a monopoly on.
If you clicked on this video, chances are you're looking to learn something new. If you are, then I'd...
Look, that's our first on Monsanto. As Adan says in his thing, in his comments, Monsanto has been lobbying and been going at this and been creating this their form of marijuana for quite some time. Now, you heard them clearly state to you that Monsanto's and these other private companies own 60 or 60 some odd percent of all the seeds in the world. With Monsanto's owning 31% of that said 60 some odd percent. In case you missed that in the presentation. When we're gonna go to before we go into this vote, to the seed vote, we're gonna go into our Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9, it reads, And the Most High blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. It is the same thing that the Most High said unto Adam and Eve. Replenish was the same word, as though that there were people on the earth before Adam and Eve, as it was for Noah and his sons. There were people on the earth before the Most High flooded and left them as the only inhabitants. Verse 2, and it says, And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Till this day, if you understand wildlife, you know that this is the true thing. I know that you may see different videos about lions. I see in the building, Monica, attacking humans, or you see most of the time you see it's when the zoo situation and somebody's gotten too close to a zoo enclosure and they get wrapped up. If you're looking at it from a wildlife perspective, normally it's when these happy-go-lucky people want to take pictures and go into the habitation of these animals. But these animals stay clear of us. Even as we walk through the jungle, they stay clear of us. Now, you got some predatory animals like leopards and lions and jaguars that pretty much will eat anything. But it will leave you alone if it's not hungry. It will be out your way if you're not in its way. Because the Most High put a fear and a dread upon us. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. As we're going through Monsanto and we're understanding the genetically modified organism that is our present day farming system, the processed foods along with it coming from a base of GMO, our bodies do not know how to receive those signals of that food. As I stated earlier, with the endocannabinoid system, our bodies, the Most High created us with tobacco, or nicotine, and marijuana receptors, meaning that our bodies were conceived to receive these things. Period. Facts. Here, it's saying to you that every moving thing that liveth shall be meat, right after he stated that everything was going to be afraid of us. Well, I know some people in the hood that when you push them up against a wall, they come out and attack you. They can be frail, small, whatever, fat, out of shape, but you put them into a corner and they start acting like they're a well-oiled athlete. And that's what happens with the animals that we come across. They don't want to be in our presence. They know because the Most High has told them that we will kill them and eat them. That's the dread that we have upon us that these animals know. But the second part of that is that every herb And I do mean every herb. The Most High did not signal on any out. And if our body has a cannabinoid receptor that the scientists named our immune system the endocannabinoid system, with cannabis and cannabinoid being the plant that is in that word or that title. Shalom, Chanel. Cannabinoid is the natural plant or green herb that is implanted in the name of your immune system. Genesis 9, verse 3. I see my uncle's in the building. You caused it the perfect time, Unc. So it says, every green herb have I given you all things, as I have given you all things that move for me. But but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. So in Genesis, the Most High is telling you right now that your blood belongs to Him, and He is telling you that there are several ways that He will exact your blood at the end, by the hand of the beast, by the hand of man, by the hand of the brothers of the men. Most High says that what I give you and then what you give me, I have given you life. I have given you everything that moves on the earth. I have given you every green herb. And in return, I require your blood, your power, your prayers, your prayers. Because you are my inheritance on this earth. All praise Adon. Because the Most High is being very specific in these first 5 verses. It says He's telling Noah, this is the whole new covenant. Everybody's dead except for Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their wives. And the Most High says to them, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But, so now we understand the part of His requirement of this contract. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. So the Most High is telling us not to eat blood because blood has the life in it. And He requires every life because He has created every life. So the blood of every life is His to have. Are you understanding that? Every blood on this earth, from animal to fish to man, that blood belongs to the Most High. Now, when you go into ancient cultures, it will tell you that blood gives men power. To this day in Africa, the Maasai tribe, the Maasai tribe will drink blood from a cow to go to war. And to this day, they have been victorious against all Europeans. They have been moved, but they never lost a battle. Look at the Maasai in Africa. The Most High said, I forbid it because of the power you can get. Well, whoa. Most people look at it as the power. But understand that there's another side to power. If there's power, then there's weakness. Remember, everything is a yin and a yang. For every strength, there's a weakness. So you can drink the blood, eat the blood of something that is powerful, but you don't just get its power, you get its iniquity as well. Its disease as well. So the Most High says, do not eat the blood. It is mine. Verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. At the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Who sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made the man. When the Most High is talking to us in Revelations and everybody's wondering why the Most High has to come back and be this host, why he has to come back with a sword, why he can't just touch the earth and everything turns into flowers and lilies. Because man has taken what was his. Man, through the century, has taken what was his, the blood of other men. He has taken his children, his seed, and they have enslaved them. They have killed them. They have robbed them. They have raped them. They have made them run across the four corners of this earth to run from their brother Esau and the Roman Greek society. Daniel chapter 12 specifically tells us this prophecy of the he-goat knocking out the ram, which was Persia and the Medes. And our history tells us that that he-goat was Greece. Then Greece became Rome, and Rome became present day. And you be ye fruitful, and you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. So now the Most High is coming back in verse 7 after verse 3 and telling you that all the herbs are for you. Now he's telling you to plant those herbs therein, to grow the earth abundantly so that you may multiply therein. So the seed is extremely important to the Most High, just like your blood is, because a plant can't grow without a seed, and a human can't be alive without blood. And we both simultaneously need the breath of life that the Most High creates. That's the air. The plants need the air. We need the air. The plants grow from the seed. We are the Most High seed. And the blood of us is his. And the Most High spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed, and with your seed after you. Let's go to Jeremiah. We have to understand how important this seed is, and we understand who are the demons in this world. Right? It says, judge a man by the fruits of his labor, not by his mouth. What does he do when he wake up? Who does he speak to? Who does he interact with? What does he manifest? What is the goals of him? What was the reason for going out there? What was the reason for going to the job? What was the reason for getting that job? What was the reason for doing that thing? Is it planted? Is it planted in the Most High? Is it planted in his soil, or is it planted in Roman soil? Is it planted in Vatican soil? Is it planted in the blood-drenched hands of the United States? Blood-drenched hands of the United States in the treaties of the Aborigine of this land. Over 500 treaties broken. Manifest destiny, along with the papal bull, allowed them to kill us and call us savages, but yet needed us to teach them how to plant the seeds. See, out of that, only one knew how to plant the seed. Only one was of the Most High. The other was not of the Most High. They did not know how to till the land. They did not know how to plant the proper seeds. They did not know how to feed themselves. They had to learn from the same people they called savages and broke 500 plus treaties and called manifest destiny and went across the Mason-Dixon, went across the Mississippi River and killed and maimed everything from the Gullah Geechee of North Carolina all the way to the Yamasee of Florida, all the way to the Chitimacha, the Choctaw of Louisiana, all the way to the Toltecs of Texas, all the way to the Utes of Utah, all the way to the Khalifas of California. All Aboriginal indigenous tribes that were killed and maimed by the United States after they taught them how to live, how to plant the seed. Jeremiah chapter 12. And it reads, righteous art thou, O Ahia Shoahia, when I plead with thee, yet let me walk with thee in thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously? I just explained to you the blood drenched hands of the United States through their laws. See, they're too much of a punk to do it real. They got to have laws, and then they put on these little characters with blue suits on, and they call themselves a gang, and they ain't nothing but the descendants of the overseers of the slave plantations. But these same people that could not plant, that does not know how to sow, that cannot follow the covenant of the Most High, those people, wherefore, do it the way of the wicked prosper. And yes, it looks like those people have prospered. They have broken over 500 treaties. They have done their manifest destiny. They have done the Jim Crow laws, which have kept the same Aborigine and the West African and the Negro land slave that was brought here. They have used those Jim Crow laws and used the educational system to mentally enslave us. And then they give us minimum wage so they can physically, monetarily enslave us. So that we will never prosper of what we taught them. Wherefore all are they happy that deal very treacherously. Thou hast planted them. We're talking about the seed. So it's saying, Most High, Jeremiah said, Most High, you planted them. Yea, they have taken root, they grow, yea, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth and far from their reins. It says, they bring forth fruit, thou art near in their mouth and far from their control. But thou, Ahia Shoahia, knowest me, thou hast seen me, and tried mine heart toward thee, pulled them out like sheep for the slaughter. It says, Jeremiah says, pull them out, pick them out, the plumpest, the one that got the most lives, the one that got the most money, the one that got the fattest house. I want the fattest pig to be slaughtered right now. Where is your Gatesy? Where is your Santos? Where are you billionaires? You're fat and ready for the slaughter. You politicians, you punk, sweet, tart politicians, you are fat for the slaughter. Verse 4. How long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein, the beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, he shall not see our last end. If thou hast run with the footmen, and they have wearied thee, then how canst thou contend with horses? If you can't handle this, how can you handle when it really goes down, when you're running with the horses? And if in the land of peace wherein thou trustest, they wearied thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of Jordan? For even thy brethren and the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words. And it says here in 6 clearly, it says, don't just focus on those fat people that look opposite of you. It says, for even thy brethren, and the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously. When we look back at these Moors back in the days, when we look back at the Indian Removal Act, no, not the Indian Removal Act. When we look at the Indian Wars, and we see that the Aborigine took sides between the French, the Spanish, and the English to fight against other Aborigine. You wonder how we lost? You wonder how it got confusing? Each side promised the tribe that if we win, we'll give you a tribe this or that. Well, guess what? Somehow, all of the tribes lost. How you like that trickaroo? How you like that 3-card Molly? You got Spanish, French, American, Brits, right? 3-card Molly. You try to pick a card, try to pick one of them that's going to help your tribe because you think you see the onslaught, you see the new world order coming in like you see it right now. So did the Indians back then. And they made the wrong move. They made the wrong choice. They partnered up with one of those cards, one of those shells. And guess what? They lost everything. That's why we don't put our faith in the government. We don't put our faith in man. People may look at us and laugh at us and say, you looking to the sky? Are you looking to some book that's got some fables in it? You need somebody to give you a pep talk to tell you what righteousness is? Well, I say to them, my brother, what's your option? Because I don't see no other option, because every man has dealt treacherously with us. Every man. Our own brethren to the others. So to put your faith in a system that wasn't geared for you, you think I'm crazy. I'm the one that look crazy, right? I'm the one that's tripping though. Let's get to Genesis chapter 2. Working, y'all. Working. It says, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, the Most High ended his work which he had made. He rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. The Most High blessed the 7th day, Shabbat, and sanctified it, Shabbat, because that in it he had rested from all his work which the Most High created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created in the day that the higher, let's just say, the Most High, made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for a higher ashore a higher may not cause it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. So here it's saying a lot. This verse 5 is saying that the Most High, one, created all seeds. That would be the marijuana seed as well. And that no seed would grow on the earth at the time. Because first, the Most High hasn't told it to rain yet. Second, there was no man to till the earth. There was no man to trouble the soil. There was no man to tend to the fields. Remember, that's what he told Adam to do, and Eve. So he says, the Most High had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. So the Most High did not let it rain. He used the water from beneath the earth to bring a mist that would fall down like dew. Evaporation, right? So we're talking about him heating up the earth, the water evaporating from the earth, and then once it gets into the oxygen atmosphere, it turns into mist and falls like dew upon the earth. So the Most High created the sea, he created the earth before he could make it rain, because he didn't want the rain. He didn't want to do the cloud system and everything, because he didn't have man out there to make sure that the earth will be done properly. Oh man. Oh man. And then he said, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Most High formed man of the dust of the ground, that nice clay, right? Wasn't hard dirt, right? He made us out of clay. He had to form us, right? So the mist came up, softened the soil. Most High was able to pack that in, you know. Yeah, I want my queens to look righteous. You know, get a little back down, get a little back in on that there. Right? And it says, and the Most High formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Most High planted the garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Most High to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The name of the first was Pison, that is it which compassed the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of the land is good. There is Bedlam and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river, Hadikil, that is that which goeth toward the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Most High spoke to the man and put him into the Garden of Eden and dressed it to keep it. And the Most High commanded man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Every tree, not some, but one. But the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in that day thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And God said, the Most High said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. And out of the ground formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. So it seemed like Adam was born with a vocabulary already. Before he ate the tree of good and evil. And the Most High caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and he closed up the flesh instead of. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man made he a womb man, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man's womb. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and shall be one flesh. Now, one can look at this line and say, that's a lot of jumping ahead right there. It's a lot of jumping ahead. Adam ain't had no kids. Eve ain't had no kids. He ain't even consummated the wedding yet. And all of a sudden, he's saying that I'm going to name a woman because when they leave my house, Adam is already thinking about them leaving the house. Adam is already talking about 18, oh, Most High. I ain't had a kid yet, but when they going to leave up out the house so me and Eve, can have our time? Interesting jump. How far they went with that, huh? And they both were naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Hmm. The reason I read chapter 2 because this is the creation of all seeds, human seeds, plant seeds, beast seeds, the blood of Genesis chapter 2. And nowhere in it does the Most High say that the seeds were going to run out. Nowhere did he say that this was only for a certain time that man's going to have to collect seeds. Let me just tell you why. Let's go there. The last video we saw, it stated that four.
This is a special place. Let's go deeper inside. We have prepared this seed vault for about 4.5 million seed samples. Welcome to the Global Seed Vault. This is a facility where we store copies of seeds from gene banks all over the world. So now we are entering a long tunnel which leads into the Global Seed Vault.
Deep inside the permafrost mountain, close to the North Pole, is a storage facility with the capacity to store over 4 million different crops and a maximum of 2.5 billion seeds. The Global Seed Vault was created as a backup system for the world's gene banks to protect humanity against any catastrophes that could potentially wipe out our agricultural diversity.
We are now quite deep in the mountain. When we pass this door, we are in the permafrost part of the rocks here. Now we are moving from approximately 0 degrees into the permafrost section. We have the permafrost here, -5. In there, it's -18. And here you can feel the atmosphere. It's silent. You can hear the echo. It's a very nice place to grasp the atmosphere of being in an important place. Some journalists call this the Noah's Ark of plant diversity, and personally I think that's quite a good name. We call it the world's most important room. So, let's go in. If the humanity can survive, we will need new plant varieties. And the material you need for developing new varieties are genetic diversity. We have seeds from all countries in the world. Kenya, Mexico, India, Peru, Germany, Colombia, Costa Rica, Zambia, Brazil, Australia. Here we have some nice wooden boxes from Tajikistan. Workers in gene banks, farmers have struggled to produce all these seeds and sent them here because they feel safe when they send the seeds here. Svalbard is a safe place. It's the permafrost here, so it's frozen even if the artificial cooling fails. And Svalbard is quite far away from conflicts. Here we have boxes from Russia, and here we have boxes from Ukraine. And even if there are enemies abroad, outside, in this seed vault, they cooperate. And here is some wooden boxes made in North Korea. So even North Korea have sent seeds here, and in the seed vault here, international conflicts are cooled down. You see this empty space in this shelf. We had seed boxes from Ikarda's gene bank in Aleppo. They sent seeds here from 2008, and when the gene bank in Aleppo was ruined, we were able to send the seeds back so they can start creating a new gene bank. This system saved the seeds. If they had no backup here, the seeds would have gone extinct. This is the world's largest collection of genetic diversity of crops. What you see in here is 13,000 years of agricultural history. The genes you find in here existed in the natural flora in the Middle East 10,000-15,000 years ago. And then farmers started to use these plants, and they improved the plants into the crops that we have. Started to use these plants, and they improved the plants into the crops that we have today. And then farmers started to use these plants years of agricultural history. The genes you find in here existed in the natural flora in the Middle East.
In the natural flora, say these ones that they got, these particular seeds, were already there before man knew what they were. That's what it means by the natural flora. It's saying that these seeds was already here naturally in the earth when they came across. So we just read in Genesis chapter 2 that the Most High created all seeds. The seeds were already in the planet, right? Right? Seeds was in the planet, right? And the Most High had the water evaporate, come down and water them so that they could grow. Then he created man so man could till it and harvest it. Here, they're telling you that they've gotten seeds from those very floral, those very early Middle Eastern soil. They got seeds out of it that they put into this plant. They got the Most High seeds.
10, 15,000 years ago. And then farmers started to use these plants and they improved the plants into the crops that we have today. There is in the seed vault about 70,000 different varieties of barley and 150,000 samples of rice and 140,000 samples of wheat. Researchers, they investigate what are the properties we find in these old varieties, and they use the genes for making new varieties, for new purposes, for new growing conditions. Without this material, plant breeders, agriculture will never manage.
Most people will watch this video and say, oh, they doing such good work in case anything bad should happen. Well, they're creating all the bad scenarios. They are the ones that's preparing for the impending nuclear war, whatever they think is going to happen unto them, that they're going to have to reseed the earth. But you have to note and pay attention to what he said. He said that we are taking these seeds so that we can learn how to grow these and other types of plants as GMO part in upcoming conditions. So they are taking these seeds and see if they can grow these seeds in post-nuclear or radioactive soil, or trying to create seeds that will grow in a radioactive soil. Really peep out what they're saying.
To feed the growing population. This is the raw material that we need for the future, that breeders need to make new varieties, to increase the world's food production. The work gene banks do every day, conserving their seeds, preparing the genes for future food supplies, is a very, very crucial and important work.
I just showed you what they just stated, that there are 140,000 different strands of wheat alone. The video we showed earlier about Monsanto stated that they had now pretty much fully taken over the entire corn product. 90% of corn that is created or grown today is a genetically modified seed that is not the original seed of corn. Not the original. It said 90%, and it said 50% of the soybean. So 90% of all corn, 50% of all soybean is genetically modified right now, no matter what store you're going into. Because it's from the seed. They started it from the seed. It told you that Monsanto created plants or seeds that had their own pesticides in it, so that when the bugs or the insects attacked tried to get to the plant, that it would kill the bugs. This is rearranging the Most High's perfect order. When we speak about revelations and all these things that have to come to pass, I explained to you that the blood, that the Most High says that every blood on this earth is his, from animal to sea to humans. It's his blood. He created all. His seeds that he requires. we see the iniquity of the world trying to own his proprietary seeds. We see them changing those, which is altering our DNA. The more we eat genetically modified organisms, our bodies do not have the receivers to receive these impossible and beyond meats. You have a nicotine cannabinoid, means your body knows where to store the things that comes from tobacco into your body. You have a cannabis receptor. That means that the body knows what to do with cannabis when it comes into your body. It's already hard written. Just like if you stuck your USB into your computer, just like you stick an HDMI cord into your TV, it is already hardwired. Your body and these things already know what to do. When you eat vegetables, a vegan diet, your body knows where to store each and every one of those plants that are grown naturally. The things that those plants produce, when you eat them, your body has already got the receiver and knows what to do with them, even with the meat. But when they genetically alter those plants, and they genetically alter those animals, they genetically alter what they call meat, your body doesn't know what to do with those things. These are chemicals that your body was not built to process. That's the whole point. Your body was not built to process them. And as you eat all this cheese that clogs your body, I was mad at my rib the other night. I ain't even say nothing. I'm gonna say it now, and she can be mad at me later. I'm sorry, but little man is sick, and she allowed him to have cheese. I was just sitting there like, it's just not. That's not good. And I was a punk. I should have stopped and took the cheese, but I was sick too, so I can't blame nobody. I ain't mad, but we have to not do that. We have to not put the things in our body that is our body don't know what to do with it, especially when it's trying to heal. When your body is trying to heal, you need to give it things that it knows what to do with it so that it can restore you. But here, this seed vault, that they are genetically modifying every seed that comes into the vault and also have the original seed. Nobody else in the world has it, because also in the Monsanto video, it stated that the farmers of America and in India and in any place that Monsanto was in place or in power, that those people could not replant any seeds. They could not grow a bell pepper, pop it open, take the seed out that bell pepper and put it back into the plant, back into the ground and plant it again. Because Monsanto said that you got that bell pepper from their seed and they have to give you a new seed every year. And if you replant any of their seeds, they will sue you. That's what they showed us in the last video. So this seed game is a real game here, right? You know what I'm saying? This big business. This seed game is big business. Not just the seeds or the food you eat, but you as a seed as well. Big business. That's, prison industrial system. That's big business. Remember when you're born that your birth certificate is on the stock market. Big business. They're about the seeds. I pray that y'all are seeing and hearing what I'm saying to you tonight. That these evil people, these treacherous people, brethren as well as others, are trying to take over the Most High seed in all manner. And that's why he's going to come back and recompense them for their works. Let's get to our Isaiah 55. I just give all praise to the Most High. I have no idea how I got this energy right now, y'all, because I was dead tired, dead beat before we started. But I give all praise to the Most High for giving me the energy. So it goes, Isaiah 55. Ho, everyone that thirsted. Ho, everyone that thirsted, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Ooh. That ain't the type of seeds that they want. They want to sell you. Hold on. Isaiah said, "Ho, everyone that thirsty, you heard me? Come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfied not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run into thee because of the Most High, thy power, and for the Holy One of Yasharallah, for he had glorified thee. Oh. Let's read it again. 55, Isaiah verse 5. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knewest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee, because a higher sure higher thy power, and for the Holy One of Yasharallah, for he had glorified thee. So it's saying that these nations is going to get at your neck because of the Most High and because of the Holy One of Yasharallah, because he has glorified us. Because we was that house on that hill, because we had that Solomon temple, because we had a king like David, because we had Joshua that came through Africa and just kicked butt left and right and tore down Canaan and knocked the walls down. Yeah, because we was that hill that could not be hidden with a beautiful mansion on it. They said they're going to get at us. It's going to be some nations, some people we ain't even know who it. We always say that we gave them knowledge, we gave them information, we taught them how to eat, taught them how to plant, we gave them knowledge of writing. Isaiah 55 verse 5. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not. Where do y'all know they come from? Everybody want to say, where Caucasians come from? How did black people turn? How did the blacks turn into whites? The Most High is telling you right here. Is you reading? Is it enough for you? Do you just forget it after you read it? It says, behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knewest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of the Most High. So when you got this fable of a New Testament, they sit up there talking about how Yasha said, don't count yourself out, you dig, when they coming at you, because they first got at me. Well, Isaiah, that's what it's saying right here. And that's all they did in the New Testament was they took the words of the prophets and they created this image for their ideology that they do. But here it says, for the Holy One of Yasharallah, for he had glorified thee. Seek ye a higher shore, a higher while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his ways. Let them, man. Let them make fun of us. Let them talk about us. Let them raise their eyebrows. Let them say, oh, Lord, I don't know what them children going to do. I don't know why they... Let them. Let your parents be confounded. Let your friends be confounded. Let your spouse be confounded. Let them be confounded. But let you not be confounded. Ye know who yous are. Know who yous are. Let the wicked forsake his way. And the unrighteous man, his thoughts. And let them return unto the Most High. And he will have mercy upon him. and to our Alahayim, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Most High. I give all praises, because the way we think out here is so ass backwards. I'm so thankful that my thoughts are nowhere close to the thoughts of the Most High. That the way that I think, the way that I feel, the way that I see the world has nothing to do with the way that my Creator sees it. I am so thankful in this hour because my thoughts is ratchet. Your thoughts is ratchet. Be thankful. And don't forget it. When you sit up there trying to figure out what's going on in your life, why the Most High is showing up in your life, do not try and figure it out with your own thoughts because you ain't smart enough. It wasn't there for you because if it was, he wouldn't have had to come down here and talk to you. You would already be walking the right walk. He wouldn't have to give you a dream. He wouldn't have to give you a vision if you was walking and doing what you're supposed to be doing. It says, verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Most High. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So man in their vaults, Monsanto's in their dreams, Bear and these other people, all of these corporations that come together to be confederate against the seed of the Most High. Not only his seed of plants, but his seed of human, his Jacob's seed. I'm about to get out of here, guys. Let me give y'all the Psalms 24 and that's right, my brother Yawan. There's gonna come a time when I have to do any of that in the kingdom. You know, I got another script I had written down here. I'm gonna get to it. You know, let's just do it, man. The Most High got the got it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go Leviticus, man. Let's get this Leviticus. Thank you, my brother Adon. I was gonna try and close it up and get out of here because I was starting to feel my energy deplete. But Most High said, nah, we wrote it, we gonna do it. So we're going Leviticus chapter 25. You know how it be, my brother Yawan. You know, we get these sessions going, we write what we gonna do for the show, man. It's hard to pull away from that, you know. So man, I get a little bit of clarity each day, and then the clarity dissipates. So we are at that part of my dissipation of clarity. So we have chapter 25 of Leviticus, and we're reading. And the Most High spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, spake unto the children of Yasharal, and saying to them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto a higher, a shore, a higher. So the Most High is telling Moshe and the rest of us that when we, and Joe and Joshua, that when we deliver us into the land, that is when we're going to start our Shabbats. We're going to give praise unto a higher, shore, higher. It says, 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, and a Sabbath for a higher, shore, higher. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. At no point in time does the United States allow the lands of America to rest on the Sabbath and not plant and harvest. They'll tell you that the world will go hungry if we didn't plant, if we didn't harvest every year, if we don't have enough food to feed everyone. All lies, y'all. Absolute lies. You know, like I know in your household, when the food is getting low, you can make miracles happen. Things that might look like it's about to go bad, you can work some things to it. We had COVID-19 and they couldn't figure out how to get bulk food that was normally uh, slated to go to places like school systems and universities, right? They couldn't figure out how to repackage them into smaller packages for the consumer market. So they threw away milk and food and all these different things during COVID because they couldn't repackage it. Not because of rest of land, not because of what the law of the Most High, but because they are trampled down upon the Father's land, as it was says in Revelations, until the Gentile, to the end of the Gentile. And it says, that which groweth of its own accord, of thy harvest thou shalt not reap. So these seeds don't need to be tilled. They grow themselves, like kale and, lettuce type things, right? Neither gather the grapes of thine vine undressed, for it is the year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you. What? It says, giving praise, not harvesting, shall be meat to us. The Most High says that is is gonna gain us in a manner that we can't possibly understand because we don't think as He does. And for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy strangers, the sojourners with thee, and for thy cattle, and for thy beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. Ooh. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 40 and 9 years. So 49 years. So the Most High is stating right here clearly, Alana, thank you for tuning in, love, that the Sabbaths are supposed to have a rest. Every 7 years, you're supposed to rest that Sabbath. So 9 times 7 is 49. In Hebrews, the 50th year is our Jubilee. So 9 Sabbaths would have come in that 7-year span, or 7-year spans, to 49. You'd have got 9 of those Sabbaths that we would have eaten off of the meat. We'd have eaten off of the meat of the land and would let the land rest and not harvest it and not till it. We wouldn't have the problems that we're having in agriculture that we have now. And understand that the reason why you see me in so many sevens, because in Hebrew, 7 stands for completion. So after your Sabbath, it's like our Sabbath day, we have completed our week. Verse 9, then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. So the Most High says, after y'all go through 50 years, in that 50th year of the Jubilee, that on the 7th day in the atonement, the month of atonement, that you guys would have followed everything. I would have atoned for all of your sins. I will wipe away everybody's sins. Verse 25, and ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession. That's another reason why the United States could not do it, because the United States was into slavery. Under our law, any man that was working, any bond man in the 50th year of the Jubilee went back to his people. We wouldn't be confused of who we were if slavery was done in the manner that was said by the Most High. Every man would know where he came from, because he would go back and visit in the Sabbaths. They would have correspondence. They would have family. We would not be dispersed. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes of it of thy vine undressed. For it is the Jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of the Jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught from neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. According to the number of the years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of the years of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of the years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according the fewness of the years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. According to the number of the years of the fruits, doth he sell unto thee. So the Most High created a the word I'm looking for is not the slope, not a curve, but the word will come to me. But Most High created a scenario where they were able to work out the fees to where it all came out equal. And wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land safely. Everything that the Most High stated out for us to do in our law in Leviticus is wrapped around us being planters, farmers, about us living off of the land and respecting the land. Isn't that exactly what you hear at Thanksgiving when the United States talk about their interaction with the Aborigine here? What I'm going to say to you is understanding that the vote, Monsanto's, Bayer, and the other companies that have a monopoly on the seeds, to the world governments that are oppressing the Most High's human seeds, the time is coming where ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land safely. If not, you know what's next. And it is coming in times. Now we can get to this Psalms 24. I'm gonna let y'all go tonight. I'm gonna try and get this rest and get this energy back up. The earth is the Most High's, and the fullness thereof the world, and they that dwell therein. So the fullness of the world is directly attributed to the plants and the earth yielding of its fruit. Y'all hear this? The earth is the Most High's, and the fullness of the earth and the prosperity of man, of anyone that dwells in the earth, comes directly from the harvesting and the planting. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Most High, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who had not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessing from the Most High, and righteousness from the Most High of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob, yes, the seed of Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? It is Ahijah, strong and mighty. Ahijah, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Most High of hosts. That's right, the Most High of hosts, the leader of the army of the heavenly angels. He is the King of glory. Selah. That's our show for our lesson for the night. I pray that you guys understand that we can always look at what a man does to know who he's following and from what intent he has in what he's doing. You can always tell. All praise. Be shalom.